Okay, you're very welcome to a very special event. We are going to preview a video which has been made by an organisation in East Belfast called Turas. Turas is Irish for journey. The mission statement for Turas is Ag Fólam na Chéile, which is learning together, and that's exactly what they've been doing for the last 9 years or so. Linda will give us a little history in a moment. But there's an animation that's been brewing for a little while now, and we've got a team of people that are going to join us, and they're going to talk us through what it is. And at the very end of this conversation, we're going to be able to watch the video, which is really great. So first of all, then, I'm going to call in Linda from Turas, just to give us a little idea of how this project came together. Basically, there's a chance to animate some learners and to talk about their own personal journeys. And but all of these things take friends and take people with budgets and support. So talk us through it, and Linda, how it all came together.
Well, I think, Stuart, over the last lot of years, from Turas started, I've always been amazed at just the diversity of people who come to Turas, who learn Irish, and for a myriad of reasons. And I've always been interested in their stories. And at the beginning of the year, I would say, well, why do you come? Why are you interested in the Irish language? And I wanted, I suppose, to record their stories in some way. But at the beginning, that was difficult because, some people were frightened. They were worried about other people knowing they were learning Irish, didn't want neighbours or friends, sometimes even relatives knowing they were learning Irish. And I thank goodness that has changed. But it was still something in my mind that, I thought, the richness of people's stories. So this was a way through animation that we were able to give people anonymity if they wanted it, but they don't seem to want anonymity. But, to let their stories speak in a way that I suppose doesn't date and give them a voice in a very short way, but a very powerful way, in my opinion.
Okay, well, we're going to bring out a virtual red carpet, really, for this event. And Gail McCune, there are testimonies from a series of Turas learners. There's going to be a whole series of animations, but you're the very first one. What was that a daunting experience when you were kind of telling your story?
It was actually quite a fun experience. I just met with Dawn, who we'll meet shortly, and we had a very long chat. Turns out that was quite easy because he and I can both talk for, Dublin and Belfast. It was just a chance to tell people about why I've been learning Irish. And there wasn't really one specific reason. There was just a whole myriad of reasons that came together when the opportunity arose.
So you literally walked in off the street to the Turas building at Skinos on the Newton Ards Road. Mm-hmm. And the video itself, or the animation itself, you were a little bit trepidatious, but you've gone right through the rungs of the ladder into further education. Isn't that correct?
That is. I'm still not quite sure why, but I'm just about to start my second year at Queen's.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll bring in Dawn at this point, who was one of Dawn's jobs then was to conduct the interviews. And I guess, sometimes there were long form videos. You're looking for short, succinct pieces then that will capture the personality of the person and also the excitement of the journey. Isn't that right, Dawn?
Yeah, that's right, Stuart. And it's been really interesting working in animation. That's kind of a new area for me. I'm more sort of from a journalism background and live video background. And with animation, and you'll talk to Chris about that later, it's just really interesting to be able to tell people stories, but look at sort of different aspects of what they're saying. There's a much more potential to kind of capture the magic of their experience through animation. But for me, yeah, like Gail was saying, we sat down, we just kept talking because it was just really interesting and it was really funny. And it was kind of, I suppose, sharing an experience of discovering Irish. I'm from Longford in the Midlands of the Republic of Ireland. So my experience with Irish was through a very sort of official school-based primary school context. And it's been really interesting for me since I've moved to Belfast to discover different people's and different experience of Irish. So, and the different ways you can fall in love with the language and the different ways it can mean different things to different people. So this story, Gail's experience with Irish was really interesting to hear as I interviewed her, but also I think it's even more interesting to look at with the animation, because there's aspects of what she was saying that have been really highlighted and sort of punched up through the animation. So I'm really, really excited about this, and I'm looking forward to all the other people that we're going to talk to and whose stories we're going to animate as this project moves forward.
Okay. Well, we got Dawn then, who's fishing for the quotes and trying to get to the heart of a journey and of a learning experience. And then at some point, then the audio goes to Chris Kelly. And Chris Kelly's job then is to kind of create a visual story around it. Then, Chris, was that fun, or was that a challenge, or both?
Yeah, no, it was absolutely fun. I would start by saying that it goes beyond myself to the other team members with animation, and it's generally it's a medium that takes a lot of time and a lot of people. And we had a fantastic team of Vicky, who very much looked after the project, and Carla, who led on the project. And for them, it's always a fun, exciting experience to embark on some new piece of content. When Dawn and Linda approached us, we hadn't really worked that much on Irish language content. We had created some small promo stuff in the past, so we understood a little bit, but for us it was a very new experience as well. And it kind of created its own production kind of, I wouldn't say problems, production kind of requirements from that point of view.
Okay. So meantime then, Linda, you're waiting expectantly on the results. I suppose you've already, I guess by selecting certain people and certain life stories, you're already kind of steering the animations towards people who have come at the language in an interesting way. Were you nervous when you were waiting to see how it was going to come out? Were you excited?
Well, I think, what we wanted to do, I suppose, was challenge the stereotypes, and that was one of the reasons that we chose Gail's story. The most difficult thing was because Gail's story was so rich, there was lots of different ways we could have went down, and we had to decide, no, this is going to be the story, this is going to be the part. So we passed it then on to Enter Yes, and it was wonderful just waiting with expectation to see what was going to turn out. When we met with them, even when they showed us samples of their work and, we had a bit of a brainstorm and ideas, it really was such an exciting process. It was a long and slow process. There's an awful lot of work goes in the animation, and I'm really blown away by the sheer ability of the artists and their imagination and their creativity. So every time an email would have come from Vicky, I opened it with excitement to see, where are we now? What's it going to look like? And I have to say, the finished product is just amazing.
Okay, these things, I'm sure they're excellent value, but they need resourcing, they need supporting, Linda. So presumably, then there's people in the side of this activity then that are giving you the wherewithal then to make it happen.
Absolutely, we have a number of funders who have helped us, and CRC were the first funder who came on board as part of their media grant. And if it hadn't been for them, then we wouldn't have been able to do it. Urban Villages as well, the Esme Trust, Community Foundation too. So there's been a number of funders who have said, yes, we'll help you. Queen's University have provided funding for us going ahead to help us to make more of the animations. And we're very excited because now we've started on Ivor's story. And he's looking at the place names. He talks about a magic door. It's just amazing. So that's one that we're so excited about, and we can't wait to see it out there.
Well, there you go. Our interest is piqued. Everyone is talking up a good game. Now we have to watch and see whether it all pulls together. I'm very sure that it will. So it remains for me to say thanks to Chris and Gail and Linda and Dawn Guramayagiv.
I don't really know what the spur was. I thought, if I don't go, I'll chicken out and never go. So I literally went the next morning, and I was walking down, and the closer I got, the more I started looking around to see if there was anybody else who looked like they might be going. I was expecting like a classroom format. The chairs were set out and set in a horseshoe. And I know that they'd been running 1 or 2 weeks already, so I was a bit worried in case I'd missed a lot. And Matthew just jumped straight in with Kajay Shin, Shin Bujil Ishka. And then he addressed the class Kajay Shin, and the entire class answered Shin Bujil Ishka. You know, you were watching, where's he going, what's he going to get, you know, and the fact that everybody was answering together, if you didn't remember, it didn't matter. I can remember after the first week going home going, you know, my head felt like it was swimming because there was so much stuff in it. And I suppose I'd gone down expecting to maybe learn 2 or 3 phrases, but instead there was, you know, 40, 50, 60 words all flying around my head. And I remember doing the dishes going, shin plata, shin bowla, shin fork, you know, and laughing at myself and standing in the kitchen going to see if anybody could hear what was going on in my head. My name is Gail McCune. I am from East Belfast, and I am a Protestant Irish speaker.